Yo, what's up guys? I hope everyone had a great weekend. We're talking about the KZ PR2 today, and I guess there's also the JIU as well. But yeah, perhaps another crazy year incoming, so let's just jump into it. Starting with the PR2, it sounds very similar to the original Wu, which is 3 times its price. Apparently it uses the same driver, I'm not too sure, but please correct me if I'm wrong. The low end is warm leaning like the Wu with a good amount of mid bass, but slightly more sub bass, which really helps with that last bit of bass extension. It's not dynamic driver levels of rumble, but it's still very respectable, punchy, and fast in its bass, attack, and decay. Bass guitars are clear and articulate, and drums are very lively and have a great sense of momentum. You can expect vocals to sound heavier and more forward versus the Heyday and the Tanya, which I prefer more, but it's not as open and well separated in the lower mid-range. Overall, still very fun and high quality low end, bringing a nice slam with that planar speed. It's really crazy what we can get for under $50 these days. But moving on to the mids, again, it's warmer and not as neutral as the Heyday, but instruments are overall still nicely layered and not muddying or burying each other on busy tracks. If you have a hip hop focused library, then the PR2 is going to do very well. And I also found the energy in the mid bass to be very fitting for rock, since it brings the momentum to the drums and really completes the song. But I do have a nitpick with the 4K and 15K regions that tends to get fatiguing for me personally, especially at louder volumes. It's fine at mid volume, but the 4 to 5 region with the elevated 15K sandwiches the 6 to 12K region and brings too much focus to the other areas and hides certain parts of the treble, making the 6 to 12K less audible. So I definitely think the PR2 could be smoother and better dynamically in that regard, but then again, it's $40, so still a pretty killer set at the price. Cymbal strikes are airy and sharp, but again, could be better extended since I do hear some masking on busier tracks like The Strangest Things, where the middle parts between the attack and decay of the cymbals and electric guitars are harder to hear because of the masking. But in terms of note sharpness and resolution, the PR2 is probably one of the best you can get under $150 because it's planar and it's tuned very well. The P1 Max is still going to be my favorite planar because it's so unique, but I place the PR2 and Heyday right behind it depending on whether you're looking for a neutral or warmer sound. For me, the PR2 makes the OG Wu obsolete since it's so similar performance and tuning wise that it doesn't make sense to buy the Wu for 3 times the price, kind of like what the Alina did with the Oxygen. I'll probably make a new budget tier list later, but for now, the PR2 would probably rank in the top 5 behind the Tanya DSP and Korg's DSP, which are both different sound signatures. But yeah, great job Chris, looking forward to more. Now, moving on to the JIU, I'll make this very quick. It's basically just a JIU but with more bass. The 15K peak is still there, and yeah, it's less metallic sounding now, and yeah, the lowered 1K brings back the vocals and overall helps with vocal fatigue, but it just doesn't compete with the Korg's and the Tanya DSP, which both are way smoother, not as harsh, better bass, and more natural sounding with no treble masking. The JIU is still great on its own, but it's not as clean and smooth when you compare it to the Tanya, but also not fun and warm like the PR2 or even the Warner and Hola to a degree. So it just ends up falling into this dead zone of mediocre IEMs like the Droplet, and I wouldn't recommend it since the Korg's DSP is just a way better version, or the Tanya DSP if you want a slightly more exciting Korg's DSP. I don't know why Moondrop didn't just do a slight tweak to the Korg's DSP and then call it a day, but yeah, it's a no-go from me considering the competition out there. Anyways, that's it for now. Thanks for watching guys, and I'll see everyone in the next video. Peace.